Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon. President Trump says June 12th is the day he'll sit down for his historic meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He made the announcements just hours after 3 Americans sentenced to hard labor in North Korea returned home. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington.
Signs of peace. 3 Americans returning home overnight, greeted by President Trump after being released by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
It was a very important thing to all of us to be able to get these 3 great people out. He was nice in letting them go before the meeting. I mean, frankly, we didn't think this was going to happen.
One of those prisoners sentenced to hard labor in 2015. The other 2 sentenced last year. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo escorted the 3 ex-prisoners home after their release that's being seen as a symbol of victory for President Trump.
President Trump found a way to communicate in terms, I believe, that Kim Jong-un could finally hear. He could hear that this president was serious, and it's all a result of President Trump's leadership.
And the world will be watching as President Trump prepares for his historic summit with Kim Jong-un. On Twitter, announcing that summit now set for June 12th in Singapore and focusing on his goal, one the president says has been a long time coming.
My proudest achievement will be, this is a part of it, but will be when we denuclearize that entire peninsula.
On the flight back to the U.S., Vice President Mike Pence says one of those prisoners asked to get off the plane during a refueling stop in Alaska because it'd been so long since he'd seen daylight. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Closer to home, police are on high alert in Northport, searching for a man wanted in connection to the death of a teenager. This is the mugshot of 22-year-old Tyreek Bell, who Northport police say is involved in the January death of Trent Bartle Thomas. Police say Bell and at least one other man barged into Thomas's home on Puerto Chico Avenue demanding money and drugs. Thomas tried to stop them and was shot and killed.
Certainly those who knew this young man are very distraught. We know that he had been in and out of some foster care throughout his early life, but we've seen a tremendous amount of support since his death.
Just worrisome. I didn't expect this to happen.
U.S. Marshal Service is now offering a $1,000 reward for any information leading to Bell's arrest. New at noon, Sarasota police say there's no longer a threat at Tuttle Elementary School. The campus was put on heightened security this morning because of nearby police activity. Police pulled over a stolen vehicle near Euclid and Ringling with 2 juveniles and a firearm inside. Those teens ran off but were quickly captured. Tuttle Elementary is back to normal, and police say the campus was never in any danger. Happening tonight, Bradenton Police holding its latest in an ongoing community squad meetings. Police will be out in the 600 block of 10th Avenue West, where they'll have giveaways for the kids, car demonstrations, they'll show off their armored surveillance vehicle, and much more happening. They want your feedback on any issues that may be affecting where you live. This all happens tonight from 4 to 8 in Bradenton, again on 10th Street Way. Let's get a check on our weather now with meteorologist John Scalzi, and I don't think any issues for them tonight for that event, right?
No, nothing in the way of any kind of rainfall or anything like that. Yeah, even though it kind of looks like it at times out there today, we've had some clouds that have moved past and at times given the sky a somewhat obscured appearance. But we're also getting some sunshine through there and certainly some warm temperatures. Once again today, it's 83 currently the air temperature, and I think we'll probably get a little bit more sun in the second half of the day. Lakewood Ranch webcam put into motion shows the cloud cover that was kind of around them. We broke into some sunshine, then we got some cloud cover moving in, and that's kind of how it's going to be today. Banks of clouds moving through, none of it containing any rain. This is really thin cloud cover and it doesn't really obscure the sun. And you see we're just on the very northern cusp of breaking out into clear skies, or at least mostly sunny skies across the region, and I think we will do that. Our daytime temperature yesterday, 92 degrees, well above average, closer to a record than the average, and I think today we similar to that, maybe a couple of degrees cooler. We'll go with 90 for a daytime high. Again, this is thin cloud and no rain is in today's forecast. 83 now, actually. Went up a degree in Sarasota, got 82 degrees in Bradenton. Inland temperatures coming in the lower 80s. As we head through the afternoon, we'll continue to watch those temperatures climb. Right now, we're looking at about a 2 to 3 degree difference in temperature between right now and 24 hours ago at this time. So the cloud cover helping to block off a little bit of that sunshine. I think that's also kind of keeping the heating down just a little bit. We'll go with 90 for the daytime high. No rain today, but there's rain coming this weekend, I think. We'll talk about that, the timing of the showers, and what to expect coming up in a few. Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Over the past few months, there have been several shootings in the North Sarasota community of Newtown, the most recent happening Tuesday night near 23rd Street. Despite that most recent incident, though, some say violence in Newtown is decreasing. ABC 7's Marla Spence has a closer look.
This neighborhood that's small in size yet big in its history has seen its share of crime and gun violence. One city commissioner says although that might be true, this area has seen a decline in gun violence compared to recent years. According to Sarasota Police Department, in 2017, there were 28 aggravated assaults or batteries involving a gun and 1 homicide. Even though we're only a few months into the year, there have already been 14 aggravated assaults or batteries involving a gun and also 1 homicide. Sarasota City Commissioner Willie Shaw tells us although a shooting or crime is always devastating, he says the number of crimes in Newtown has drastically dropped compared to past years.
We have seen a decrease in guns over the last 7 years. Anytime public health, welfare, and safety is at risk, we have an issue.
Commissioner Shaw says back in 2011, there were about 7 homicides. He says what's been assisting to the decline in gun violence are programs and initiatives in Newtown. So far, there are 2 mentorship programs that are already in place to help promote positivity and fight against gun violence. Commissioner Shaw says in addition to those, he, other city leaders, and police hope to bring 3 other initiatives to Newtown. All 3 will promote looking for other ways to resolve issues other than gun violence and educating the public on the dangers of gun violence. Commissioner Shaw says there are also other ways to promote safety in Newtown.
We're looking forward to putting on a march in this same awareness, and hopefully we can become preventative in this. In being proactive, we are also doing a gun buyback.
So far, the dates for the gun buyback and the march has not been announced. Commissioner Shaw says both should be happening sometime this year. I'm Marla Spence reporting in Newtown for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Marla, thank you. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the CDC is now warning Floridians about that E. coli outbreak stemming from romaine lettuce. And how our Virginia Guide Dog Company is under fire for selling untrained dogs for thousands of dollars.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Homemade means that it's from the heart. I'm Joey Panic. On Suncoast View, our favorite mom blogger brings gifts that dads and kids can make together to give mom for Mother's Day. Then we'll learn an easy way to make and use chalk paint for gifts or to give old furniture a brand new look. Plus, we'll learn about the mission behind the Harvey Milk Festival, and Baker and Wife Restaurant joins us in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today.
Call 800-457-2317.
Go online or visit a Target store today.
Experience the classical music celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So as we carry on this week with hurricane preparedness awareness, today we're going to take a look at, home inspections and making sure that your home can be fortified against the wind. It's fairly obvious that the strongest of the homes around during a hurricane are going to be the ones that are built to current code. That said, some of the older houses, even the ones built in, the 50s and 60s, can be significantly fortified with relatively little cost. I did it myself in my home in the roof with just 2x4s and some nails and a little bit of elbow grease. And it's fairly easy to do. But first thing you need to do is get an inspection of your home by a hurricane mitigation specialist. Call your insurance company. They'll give you a list of names. Pick one out. Have them come out. They'll tell you what's good about your home and what could be improved a little bit. Then decide on what projects you're willing to undertake and which ones maybe you might need a contractor for. Consider retrofitting your home. There are several projects you can do. I put those projects on my Facebook page, John Scalzi ABC7. I've got 1 hour projects, 1 day projects, and 1 month projects. All of them can be done for relatively little cost. Some are more expensive than others. All of them will strengthen your home. It's a good idea to do before hurricane season starts. 3 p.m. temperature coming in at about 90. I think a lot of that really does depend on how much sunshine we get today. Yeah, we got some cloud cover out there, none of it producing rainfall, and I think we will probably break out into some sunshine that'll help boost that temperature up pretty quickly once the sun does break out. 82 by 7, 74 by midnight, and then you'll wake up tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 60s, probably upper 60s most like, as dew points will rise a little bit. Dew point right now 59, still very comfortable out there. We have some sunshine poking through the clouds and an 83-degree temperature. Winds generally out of the east, with cloud cover kind of being beaten back by drier air that's trying to work its way in from the north. We're just on the cusp of clearing, and I think from time to time we'll see that clearing sky tonight. Should be a pretty nice night. Tomorrow, maybe again a little bit more cloud cover around. You can see this stream of clouds coming right across central Florida and how there's clearing right behind it. Our water vapor imagery shows that dry air is tan, trying to work its way south. That's why I'm going with, a partly sunny afternoon sky, I think. Here's the situation. We have a big ridge of high pressure sitting over the deep south. That's providing us with fair weather today, drawing down that dry air. But a trough of low pressure located just to our south through the Florida Straits will eventually work its way back north and bring us that chance of weekend rain. And in fact, on Sunday, that chance is pretty good. We're looking for a northwest wind coming in about 10, kind of relaxing a little bit during the evening. Boaters, expect a light chop. Daytime high today about 90, tomorrow warm as well. Saturday, the moisture starts to return. We'll put in that 20% chance of rainfall. On Sunday, the rain chance goes up to about 60%. That's mostly in the afternoon and evening, scattered showers and thunderstorm kind of thing, not an all-day rain out. And then each and every day through the beginning of next work week, we'll have decent chances of rain, and the humidity will be back full tilt boogie. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. In HealthSmart, more cases of E. coli are linked to contaminated romaine lettuce, and some of those cases have now been found right here in Florida. Health officials say 28 new cases have been reported in Florida, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Texas. The CDC says the total number of cases is now up to 149. More than 60 people in 29 states have been hospitalized, and 17 of them have developed kidney failure. Plus, a new study shows Colorado marijuana dispensary employees are encouraging moms-to-be to use their products for morning sickness. 69% of the dispensaries contacted recommended cannabis to treat nausea in the first trimester. But this clashes, though, with doctors' warnings about the potential harm marijuana can cause if used during pregnancy. Either way, marijuana is still only legal for medical use in Florida, so it's best that you check with your healthcare provider to see what they suggest for treatment. The FDA is warning about a shortage of EpiPens across the country. These EpiPens are used to reverse the effects of overdoses or allergic reactions. And the agency says manufacturing delays are causing a short-term shortage. EpiPen producer Mylan NV confirms what it calls intermittent supply constraints. The company is asking patients to contact Mylan's customer relations office for help finding pharmacies that still have them in stock. Switching gears now, Sarasota's popular Oslo Rep is in the middle of running its new show, Ragtime. It's a production that's been wildly popular since its debut earlier this month. John joined out now by one of the stars to tell us what we can expect to see. John?
Thank you very much, Scott. The role of Mother in Ragtime is played by our guest today, Britta Ullman. Thank you so much for coming in today. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, by all accounts, everybody loves this show.
Yeah.
This is a famous show, nominated for 13 Tony Awards. Can you tell me something about what it's about for folks who haven't seen it?
Yeah, Ragtime is a musical that follows 3 different groups of people. We have a white affluent family in New Rochelle, New York, a black couple who's a black musician, and then we also have an immigrant family that we follow as well.
And these folks interact with each other through the storyline?
Yeah.
They learn from each other?
Yes, as the story goes on, you see how their lives intersect and how we learn from each other through these intersections.
And I'm guessing as a musical, it must have influences from each of these segments.
Yes, absolutely. There's a wide variety of different styles of music through the whole thing.
Oh, it must be fun. Now, Terrence McNally, who wrote this, of course, is a very, very famous American, not only musical creator, but also legitimate drama and movies as well. He did Ragtime, Kiss of the Spider, Woman, Catch Me If You Can, Full Monty, just to list a few, and has now moved to Sarasota. And he came to see your show, right?
Yes, he was there on opening night, and he actually came back a couple shows later and stopped backstage to chat with all of us both times. And hung out with us at our opening night party, and was just very gracious and kind, and seemed to really enjoy himself. So.
Oh, awesome. Did he like pull you aside and say, hey, listen, in Act 2, what I want you to do is...
I wish he would have. I wish he would have. He was kind enough not to do that, but what a cool thing if he had.
Oh, and you play Mother. Tell us about the role of Mother. What do you like about it?
Mother starts out with a yearning to grow in her life. And so we watch her observe the life around her and grow more and more into her opening up to how she can be more powerful and live more true to who she is.
So I'm guessing we see a transformation in your character.
She transforms. There are many large transformations that happen in this show.
Oh, neat. Yes. Yeah, that sounds great. Tickets are still available, I guess, right?
Yes, tickets are going fast, but they are still available. We're open until May 27th, so definitely call now to get your tickets.
And there's the information on where to call to get your tickets, of course. And ABC7, I might add, is a proud sponsor of Ragtime. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks so much for having me.
I know you've done a lot of shows in the area with other theaters locally, as well as the Oslo, and you're from Minnesota. I hope you come down and spend more time down here in Sarasota.
Me too.
It's a great place.
Yeah, thank you.
Scott?
Thank you both. Let's get over to the kitchen now and say hello to JR, who joins us today, of course, from JR's Old Packing House Cafe. JR, great to see you again. What's on the menu for today?
Today we have chicken tropicana, which is chicken with all those fruits and vegetables that you're looking at your neighborhood market. We have the ones that I think are amazing are papaya, pineapple, mango, and you get to add pistachios and all kinds of stuff. And it's just a fun dish, especially like for Mother's Day, where it's so vibrantly colored and flavorful, and actually a one-pot kind of setup. So I think you'd quite enjoy that.
All right, JR, thanks.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach.
Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
I'll be right back.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at score.org.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
The scam alert to tell you about today, a service dog company is accused of lying to customers, promising them life-saving companions while actually just selling them untrained puppies. ABC's Gio Benitez shows us why people are now warning others before it's too late.
This is a trained service dog in action. Watch as he wakes his diabetic owner up in the middle of the night because he senses her blood sugar is dropping. And this is Lotus.
Hey, down.
Giovanna Flores bought her for her son, who has diabetes, hoping that she would save his life if he went into diabetic shock. But $18,000 later, she wants answers.
She's just not service dog material. She's a pet, and we do love her very much, but if you compare her to another service dog that was properly trained, there's really no comparison.
She says she purchased her dog from the Virginia-based company Service Dogs by Warren Retriever, whose website promises life-saving alert dogs for people living with autism, diabetes, PTSD, and seizure disorders. Dogs advertised to even contact 911 in an emergency. But now Virginia's Attorney General is tightening the leash, filing a new lawsuit against the company based on more than 50 customer complaints, alleging that in many cases these dogs are poorly trained, ill-behaved dogs that are not equipped to help them manage a life-threatening disability and are little more than very expensive pets. The AG saying the average cost, $25,000 for a dog as young as 3 months old. We went to see what a service dog is supposed to do. Watch, in this simulation, a service dog notices her trainer might be having a nightmare in bed and quickly pulls the covers off to wake her up. Sheila O'Brien with Assistance Dogs International, which promotes high training standards for service dog programs, says it's dangerous to put very young dogs into service.
You wouldn't send a child in to do a man's work, would you?
Minnie is 3 months old herself. She's being trained to help veterans with PTSD, and you can just see she's not ready. Sheila says that'll take at least another year and a half of training. Bottom line, 3 months is just too young.
Too young. Too young.
That's Gio Benitez reporting. The company being targeted tells the Washington Post they deny ever setting out to mislead, cheat, or defraud their clients, and that the company had been working with Virginia's Attorney General to address concerns ahead of that investigation. Let's get back to the kitchen now. John is with JR from JR's Old Packing House Cafe.
Yep, JR is in with us today doing an original dish that you've created. Tell us about it.
You go over to your neighborhood market. I particularly like the one next door to me. So, and you come up and you're looking at all these beautiful items. You got pineapple, papaya, mango, they have ginger, all kinds of neat stuff. And this is supposed to be like a two-dish thing, a two-pan thing. But since it's Mother's Day and we're not supposed to make the kitchen dirty for the wife because we're supposed to clean the kitchen ourselves, I'd probably suggest not doing that so much and just going with a one-pot dish. And you just put your garlic and ginger and your little shallots, those little red, funny-looking red onions in there, you know. And
What do you call this dish, by the way?
Oh, Tropicana, which tropical Tropicana. that kind of thing. So it's quite a yummy dish. And then you add a little bit of coconut milk. And when you're adding the coconut milk, don't forget to stir and mix in. And if it dries up a little bit too much for you, not a problem. Just add a little bit of the wine, because you know the mother-in-law is going to be there and the father-in-law is going to be there with you for Mother's Day. And make sure you like drinking the wine that you're going to pour in here, because in case you have company that you're wanting to avoid, see how that brings some more juice to that?
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess that's the thing, right? You don't want to cook with wine you wouldn't
want to
really
drink.
Right?
No, you want to drink it.
Because there are cooking wines on the shelf in the grocery store that are.
And we use those when we're
not
cooking
so good.
Cuban food, but it's not. No, we'll skip that. And then if you see those local places along the locally harvested fresh honey, I particularly like the orange blossom honey, because it definitely has one, it tastes good.
We should mention, since you mentioned Cuban food, that JR kind of specializes in Cuban food. Always have, right? So you've got some really nice things on the menu there.
Yeah, the nice thing about doing those kind of foods, or that type of food, is everything's, you just walk over to your market and you just have a nice day.
There you go. You got about 1 minute left here.
Oh, then let's add the fruit. I would suggest saving the fruit you didn't eat, saving half of that, and just add a little bit.
Oh, got mango going on there, looks like?
We got a little mango.
Okay.
We got a little pineapple.
I see where the tropical flavors come from here now.
And then and my favorite is papaya. That stuff's the bomb.
I do not eat enough papaya, I have to say.
And then you save some for the end, and you can, whatever you didn't eat. I like mixing in some coconut in here now. And then we have toasted coconut for afterwards. And then the other thing you can add or subtract, if you prefer, I like a little crushed red pepper.
And I think as you add the other ingredients, which looks like pistachio and a few other things, I'll mention to everybody that the recipe is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go on our website and
there it is.
You can get all the video instructions that you need there. There go the pistachios. Looks fantastic. And you serve it up on a nice bed of rice there, right?
Nice bed of rice, some tostones, some garlic bread.
Man, available at your restaurant on the menu, or?
We'll be running it tomorrow night.
There you go.
See how the colors look?
I do. Looks gorgeous. JR, thank you so very much. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Zupan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
Here's today's Job of the Day. ABC7 is seeking a part-time video news editor with a nonlinear video editing and digital video background. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Coming up, Israel reacts to the latest missile strikes in Syria. What could be next in the Middle East? Plus, why the University of Florida is now putting an administrator on leave after a controversial move at a graduation ceremony. And despite a recent dry spell, why one Sarasota community is dealing with flooding issues.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. Israel responding after Iran fired rockets on Israeli positions in the Golan Heights. Israel says they attacked nearly all of Iran's military installations in Syria. This is the most serious confrontation between the two enemies to date. ABC's Molly Hunter is in London.
One day after President Trump pulled out from the Iran nuclear deal, a dramatic escalation. Iranian troops launched 20 rockets from Syrian territory at Israeli troops in the Golan Heights, and Israel struck back. In the biggest Israeli attack inside Syria since 1974, 28 F-15s and F-16s launched dozens of missiles at Iranian military targets inside Syria. The Israeli military tweeting a map of the targets, striking dozens of suspected intelligence sites, military compounds, weapons depots, and launch sites. A Syrian human rights organization claiming more than a dozen people were killed, and Syrian state TV claimed their air defenses fired back.
And will not tolerate a deployment of Iranian military inside Syria.
Israel has frequently targeted Iranian assets inside Syria and Iranian forces there backing Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, but they rarely admit it.
I think that what we're going to see in the coming weeks and months is a cat and mouse game between Israel and Iran.
This is the first time Israel has directly accused Iran of attacking their territory. Speaking today, Israel's defense minister warned if it rains on us, it will pour on them. The White House called Iran's attack unacceptable and highly dangerous. And here in Europe, French and German leaders both called for restraint on all sides. Molly Hunter, ABC News in London.
And for the latest breaking news across the country and here on the Suncoast, as well as your First Alert weather, just download our apps. You can find them at your app store under WWSB or My Suncoast. Caught on camera, here's something you don't see every day, a chocolate-covered highway. It's not oil, just sweet chocolate coating the road there. A truck carrying 12 tons of liquid milk chocolate hit a barrier and tipped over. The accident causing a huge traffic jam, and the cleanup wasn't sweet at all. That chocolate was reportedly more difficult to remove than oil. Pressurized hot water helped clean it up, turning it into a less appetizing version of hot chocolate. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries. Take a look at this stunning phenomenon on display along parts of Southern California coast. It's the nighttime surf lighting up with a blue glow near San Diego. It's caused by a bioluminescent phytoplankton algae bloom, and it's been affecting the ocean tide all week long there. Experts say this hasn't happened in nearly 5 years. John Cunningham took these images at Torrey Pines State Beach in San Diego County. He said seeing the electric blue color flowing through the waves was just an incredible experience. That's pretty cool looking, definitely.
That is neat, right? Yeah. Different than, of course, the red tides that we get here. It's a completely different species, according to Scripps Oceanography out there in California. But man, I've always, it's on my bucket list to see one of those bioluminescent blooms. I guess there's one that's kind of persistent and long-term near Puerto Rico that is a big tourist attraction there. So. One of these days,
There you go, yeah.
Our red tide looks pretty good out there. The latest reports showing there's just very slight traces around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor, but otherwise all area beaches not showing any red tide blooms across our area. Winds generally out of the east, switching to the north today. We shouldn't really have an issue with anything at all in our weather this afternoon, except perhaps a little lingering cloud cover. If you're looking for complete sunshine, we may break out into it from time to time as Perhaps we are right now, but it'll also be coming past us in kind of banks of clouds. So it comes, it goes this afternoon. We'll call it partly sunny. 83 degrees Sarasota, 84 degrees in Bradenton, 83, 84 is pretty universal around our Sun Coast. It represents a couple of degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago at this time when we hit 92 for a daytime high. So I'll go with about 90 for a daytime high today. Really, a lot of it's going to depend on just how much sunshine we get. But the thing is, none of the clouds contain any rainfall. We stay dry today. We stay dry tomorrow. Probably stay dry most of Saturday as well. Then things are going to change a little bit for Mother's Day. We'll talk about that in just a second, Scott.
Thank you. Happening across the state, University of Florida is changing how it holds its graduation ceremony. This all comes after an incident at graduation went viral last Friday, with several students aggressively pushed off the stage while dancing and celebrating. The university president released an apology on social media and later promised to change the policy. Also, that faculty member who forcibly removed the students is now on paid leave. There's no word yet on exactly what the changes will be. An update now out of Central Florida, where a body has been found in a retention pond after reports of someone possibly being attacked by an alligator. Crews used sonar devices to find the body after calls came in Wednesday saying someone disappeared near the water. The Orange County Sheriff's Office says the body is that of a woman in her late teens or early 20s, but she does not appear to have any bite marks on her body. Deputies also believe the body they found is the same one that was spotted by witnesses. New developments out of Orlando. A Sarasota-based attorney is dropping a discrimination lawsuit against Disney after years of fighting. Sarah Blackwell has been representing 30 of the 250 IT employees laid off by Disney back in 2015. According to those employees, they were forced to train their replacements from India or lose their severance packages. 3 of those former Disney employees stood next to Blackwell as she announced she was dropping the case. Blackwell says what Disney did is legal because of a loophole in American law.
This is not just a loss for Disney workers. It is a loss for the millions of American workers who have been and are now suffering from this terrible business model.
Blackwell says she still plans to fight for American workers' rights because what Disney did to its employees is happening at other major companies across the nation. New at noon, the National Transportation Safety Board is investigating a deadly car crash in Fort Lauderdale involving a Tesla that killed 2 high school students just weeks before graduation. Police say the 2, along with another person, were traveling near an area known as Dead Man's Curve to nearby residents when their all-electric Tesla Model S hit a wall and then burst into flames. Witnesses say the boys later died trapped inside the burning vehicle. A backseat passenger was thrown from the car and taken to a hospital for treatment. The NTSB says they believe speed may have been a factor in this crash. Here in the Suncoast, we know traffic is one of the biggest concerns in the community, but is there a better or maybe a smarter way to drive around town? Well, we know I-75, US 41, and University Parkway may seem like the fastest ways to get somewhere, but these major roads are all the most traveled, and law enforcement say it's where they also see the most accidents. Coming up tonight at 5, ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick reveals the best-kept traffic secrets in our community.
You know, Sarasota is not that little sleepy community that it once was. We have a lot of designations, you know, #1 beach in the country, #1 place to retire. So you Google Sarasota, that brings a lot of tourism, and with a lot of tourism brings more traffic.
A lot of our deputies will stay off the main arteries when they're responding to calls. They know the roads, they know the back ways to get there. Longer distance sometimes isn't longer time.
Tune in at 5 tonight to find out what Sarasota roadways are most congested and learn some shortcuts to get across town easier. And then at 5:30, we'll take you to Manatee County and show you the best-kept traffic secrets there as well. Well, despite a lack of rainfall recently, a Sarasota apartment complex is having an issue with flooding. Swifton Villas is right near Swift and Clark Roads, and neighbors say water has been leaking from a nearby tank, flooding portions of the complex, 2 to 3 inches deep in some areas. The water covered an entire parking lot, making it hard for some people to get to their cars.
For seniors to be walking through water.
Older folks have anxieties anyway, and so they see something like this and they start to worry. Really, this shouldn't happen.
Sarasota County officials say it was a mechanical failure that took place while the tanks were being serviced and that the problem has since been fixed, so water should be receding. All this week, we're profiling some of the area cancer survivors, helped by Dick Vitale's annual fundraising gala, which is set for tomorrow night at the Ritz-Carlton. Today, we're meeting Erin Kizalewski of Sarasota. She had a rare form of leukemia when she was just 2 years old. Erin says she put Play-Doh on her head to make up for a lack of hair. Now, 17 years later, she's a Riverview High School graduate and attending the University of South Florida, where she hopes to get her doctorate in zoology. Erin says going through 2.5 years of chemotherapy as a toddler changed her forever.
It makes me have more of an appreciation for life because I know how fragile it can be and just how quickly it can be taken away, because in the hospital, when I was there for treatment, we made friends with a lot of the families, but unfortunately, a lot of the families' kids didn't make it through treatment, so you kind of understand just how fragile life can be.
Erin has attended the Vitale Gala in the past. She says she enjoyed bonding with other cancer survivors. Organizers hope to raise $3.5 million at tomorrow night's gala. Happening today, the Suncoast Blood Bank hosting its 10th annual Pints for Play event. The blood drive is especially important for the blood bank, which is right now is in urgent need of all negative blood types. The blood bank is partnering with WSRZ 107.9 FM in what is typically the most successful blood drive of the year. They're offering all donors a commemorative t-shirt and a song request, business plug announced on the radio, or a tumbler. Sonny's Barbecue is even offering free food to those who donate.
It's important to help people and save lives, and it doesn't harm me at all. It's just a little bit of time, and it's a much more of a reward for me to feel good that I'm helping somebody.
To donate, you can head over to the main donation site. It's at the Target Plaza on North Cattleman Road near I-75 and University Parkway. They'll continue to collect donations throughout the day until 7 o'clock tonight. Mote Marine Lab releasing a rehabilitated sea turtle back into the Gulf of Mexico this morning. Shoshi is a juvenile green sea turtle that a fisherman found floating 15 miles west of Anna Maria Island. The turtle was taken to Mote's Sea Turtle Rehabilitation Hospital on March 26th. Shoshi was covered in some sort of orange material that was affecting its outer shell and eyes. After care and treatment at Mote, Shoshi is now swimming free back in the Gulf after its release at Bayfront Park on Anna Maria Island late this morning. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why Ford is temporarily suspending production of its most popular vehicle.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We'll make the top out temperature today about 90 degrees with a mix of sun and dry clouds out there, at least dry conditions underneath the clouds. Dry clouds is kind of hard to do. We're looking at, as we head into the evening hours, about 82 degrees by 7 p.m. and then the overnight coming in at around 68 degrees. So pretty nice day shaping up for us, I guess. We have a dew point value that's still pretty low, making it feel comfortable out there. 59-degree dew point. Can't argue with that one. 83-degree air temperature. Nice start to the day. And we'll finish it up very nicely as well this afternoon with that kind of a warm, quiet, dry breeze out of the northeast. Now that has its downsides. The fire danger index continues to rise across the area. Very high category is seen in many parts of our Sun Coast, and will probably continue to rise until we get some rainfall. What we need is the rain, and there is the potential for that in the forecast ahead. Now, yesterday, the air quality index came down a little bit at 74. We'll get a new air quality index sampled and reported here probably in about 45 minutes or so. It'll be coming in. Bob will have that for you at 5 o'clock tonight, but I suspect that it'll be well below the threshold of 100 for unhealthy and sensitive respiratory tract people to, take some extra caution. So that's good news. We're glad to have that little bit of healthier air in here. Cloud cover, as you can see, across the region, but I think we're just on the verge of breaking out into a little bit more sunshine across the region. We'll have banks of these clouds moving through. We've got one moving through now, then we'll get some breaks in the clouds, and we'll get some more moving through. So that'll be the case over the next 24 hours or so. There's some drier air located back to the west. It's trying to work its way in. I think tomorrow will probably be a sunnier day. So the forecast calls for that high pressure ridge to retrograde just a little bit. Then this trough of low pressure begin to lift northward as that high eventually then moves out into the Atlantic, shifts our winds around to the south, lifts moisture our way, and pulls that trough across center part of the state of Florida. That'll be a trigger for showers and thunderstorms, and that will come over the weekend. It'll be kind of a humid Mother's Day as well. Forecast calling for a northwest wind shifting northeast and a light chop on your bay and inland waters. Nice day for boating. 90 today, couple of warm days actually in a row, followed by an increase in cloud cover on Saturday, increase in moisture as well, and that chance of rain showers on Sunday at about 60%. Mother's Day, mostly in the afternoon, mostly in the evening, scattered showers, maybe a passing thunderstorm or two, and that chance of rainfall will linger for several days. So maybe we'll get some much needed rainfall around here, and certainly will be a lot more humid next work week. Scott?
John, thanks. In consumer news, California has become the first state to require all new homes to have solar power. The new requirement is part of an aggressive push by the Golden State to combat climate change and was unanimously approved by the California Energy Commission. The move is expected to add thousands of dollars to the cost of a new home, but state officials and environmental advocates say it will result in lower energy bills for those homes, which will more than make up for the extra cost to home buyers. The new requirement will take effect in 2020. Struggling retailer Sears has struck a deal with Amazon, and as it looks to boost its sales, shoppers can now buy any brand of tires on Amazon.com and then have them shipped to Sears auto centers across the country, where they can then have those tires installed. The service will be rolled out to all 400 of its auto centers nationwide in the coming weeks. By the way, the only Sears store still open here on the Sun Coast is the one at DeSoto Square Mall in Bradenton. Ford is temporarily shutting down production of its F-150 trucks due to a fire at a supplier's plant in Michigan last week. The company only has 2 plants that build the trucks. Ford announced production is being halted at its plant in Michigan. It had already shut down the plant near Kansas City. The F-150 is the automaker's best-selling and most profitable vehicle. In fact, it is the best-selling vehicle in all of America. Ford says the shutdown could last several weeks. Well, Pizza Hut is now delivering beer with your food orders. The pizza chain says its pilot program will let customers order 6 packs of beer with their pizzas, but it will only be offered in stores in Arizona and California for now. Pizza Hut says the beer will arrive cold so that you can enjoy them with your hot pizza. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why Marvel says a piece of popular movie memorabilia is missing.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
All hands on deck. What's up? I want to point out 3 tips for using the home computer more safely. Point away.
First, stop. Make sure your software is up to date and that you've password protected your computer's login and Wi-Fi connection.
Next, think before visiting a site, opening attachments, or clicking on links.
Then connect, knowing you're helping make the web safer for you
and for everyone. Make Stop, Think, Connect part of your daily online routine.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
In entertainment news, a valuable piece of marvelous movie memorabilia is now missing. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
The Avengers call the police. The original Iron Man suit, which Robert Downey Jr. wore in the 2008 movie that launched the Marvel Cinematic Universe, has disappeared from a Los Angeles area warehouse. Police are investigating the apparent theft of the red and gold suit, valued at more than $300,000.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
Margot Robbie is getting serious as a producer. She produces and stars in her latest film, Terminal, just as she did on the Oscar-nominated I, Tonya, and she has a half-dozen more projects lined up to produce. Does she also eventually want to direct?
I do. I think right now I do want to, just not for a couple years yet.
You're Norma Desmond. Used to be in silent pictures, used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
A big picture is headed back to the big screen. Billy Wilder's Sunset Boulevard, starring Gloria Swanson and William Holden, returns to some 600 U.S. theaters this Sunday, May 13th, and next Wednesday, May 16th. Mr. DeMille, she's ready for her close-up. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Academy Award winner Jordan Peele is giving fans a very small peek at his next film. The writer and director posting a poster for his new film on social media. It shows the movie's title is Us, and it will be in theaters next March. Peele's first film was the satirical horror movie hit Get Out, which helped him make history, becoming the first African American to win an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. And it may look like the real deal, but this isn't actually Prince Harry or Meghan Markle. The wax figurine of Markle is the latest creation of Madame Tussauds Museum in London. She was placed on display next to her soon-to-be husband, wearing a replica of the engagement ring that was designed by Harry. Harry's figure was originally created to mark his 30th birthday back in 2014. The couple will marry next Saturday in St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. Finally, a clumsy moment by a panda caught on camera. This is Bebe. He lives at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. His caretakers shared this video of him taking a tumble from a tree earlier this week. He's just hanging around, having fun, when all of a sudden, right here, the branch is going to break and he'll fall to the ground. They pointed out Bebe wasn't hurt. In fact, pandas are actually built to withstand these kind of falls. Bebe is on loan to the U.S. from China, where he will return in a couple years. And as you can see, the little guy is persistent, climbed right back up that tree despite just falling. So
I think they're going to get their arborist in there now and trim back some of those weak branches.
Yeah. Or he's,
poor thing.
Bebe's eating well, maybe.
I guess that could be too.
Have a great day, everyone.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
In life after the military, it's our duty as veterans to have each other's back. I'm retired Colonel Greg Gatson, and it's my mission to help you get the benefits and services you've earned. If you need to file a VA claim, remember these important steps. Submit an online claim through ebenefits.va.gov. Work with an accredited Veteran Service Organization, or VSO. And if you need to attend a VA claim exam, please go. Visit this website to learn what to expect.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and special guests on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC 7. ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.